Hey
Meow.
guys.
Meh. There's your cold opening.
Hey guys. Well,
Brr,
oh yeah, my cold. Hey guys, it's the cold open.
brr,
What did we talk about? I don't know. There
brr.
we go. Perfect.
Don't let them in, don't let them see. Be the good girl you always have to be. Conceal, don't feel, don't let them
Hey guys,
know.
welcome back to another episode of 3's Reactors Summit.
Well,
I
now
am, of
let
course,
it
not Chrissy Smith, and you're
know.
not going
Let
to
it
see her for a while.
go.
Why? Because she has better things to do. So you're stuck with me for a bit. But don't worry, I'm not alone. Because with me we have Malcolm Lay, of course. He's always here, and we love him. How you doing today, Malcolm?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Just ready to talk about the Schmoedown and the greatest match of all time.
Okay, I know you didn't say this, but my head, not in a good headspace, it sounded like you said, I'm done being good. And I was like, oh, okay. It's like that now, Malcolm. We also have Hunter. How are you doing again, buddy?
How's it going, everybody? Thank you for having me back on. It's yeah, we had two great IG tournament matches, and let's get to talking about them.
Yes, guys, today we are talking about the two Inner Geekdom tournament matches that took place this week, the semifinals, to see who's going to be moving on to the finals, to see who will be facing Jason Inman. So the first match up was Mara Kanopik versus, we also have Abe Flores, our lovely Abe Flores, who will drop in from time to time to drop his knowledge that was not shown in his Schmoedown history match.
Yeah.
The hell?
That's what I
Shots
thought.
fired.
That's what I thought, Abe. So, the first match up we're talking about is Mara Kanopik versus Rachel Cushing. Of course, the first thing to talk about with this match is the fact that both of these competitors were under the weather. So we're talking about some Michael Jordan, like 90s play going on here. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just look up Michael Jordan's sick game. It's crazy stuff. So round one, both perform well. Mara misses a few. The round ends 8-5 in favor of Rachel. Yeah, she kind of came out swinging out of the gate. Round two is where it got more interesting. Rachel lands on Heroes Villains. She performs pretty well. Mara's able to steal multiple choice 1-pointer from her. And she walks away with 6 points in the round. Mara goes, she lands on Marvel movies, not MCU, and walks away with 6 points, and the round ends 14-12 in favor of Rachel. Round three, Mara misses her 3-pointer, and Rachel misses her 5-pointer, so we end the round tied, and we go in to this sudden death. Okay. This goes for 11 questions. Now, they weren't... every question wasn't answered. Some of them, because how sudden death works in Schmoedown is you just keep going until one person hits and one person misses. But the fact of the matter is, it goes for 11 questions. The match ends 24-23 with Mara winning. This, I believe, is the longest sudden death we've had in the Schmoedown. I can't think of one that went for 11 questions. Most of them are usually just a handful of questions. Post-match interviews, of course, both of the competitors just had nothing but good things to say about the other. They talked about... Mara, of course, talked about moving on to the finals, and Rachel with the Fife Club with Emma and Mark there, they talked about how Rachel's going to bounce back, and she's going to come back from this. So this leads to two things. The first thing is the question of Christian Harloff tweeted a couple weeks back, and he said that what he believes to be the greatest Schmoedown match of all time had been filmed. Most of us are being led to believe that this is the match he was talking about. So that raises the question. is this the greatest Schmoedown match of all time? Not of 2018, of all from 2014 to 2018. I'm going to throw it over to Malcolm. Do you think this is the greatest match of all time?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is the one he was talking about because you've got two competitors that they're both really sick, but they both competed as if they're on. Well, I mean, I think I said this thing is if this is both competitors at their worst, if they're at completely 100%, then they can do some serious damage. So I mean, like as you said, like 11 sudden death questions. I mean, that is the most, because I think the one most before that was JD McReady, which only went for 6. So I mean, so yeah, and I mean, if they're well, they could still be answering questions to this day. So I mean,
Hunter, do you think this is the greatest Schmoedown match of all time?
See, that's actually really hard. I do think it's the best Inner Geekdom match of all time. Just because the knowledge back and forth, and just as you guys point out, how both competitors weren't at 100%. This is them at 50% at least, and they still did 11 questions in overtime. You know what? I'm going to say yes. Just because of the heart that was shown in each of the competitors, especially Mara coming back and maybe getting the upset of the year by beating Rachel, who was on fire in this IG tournament, for her to come back like that, you know, after getting in the minor car accident, which I hope she's okay, to do that is really impressive. And for Rachel to keep up with her, yes, it's one of the greatest matches I've seen.
So, first thing, love Mara, love Rachel, but dude, the Goat Killer is the greatest upset of the year. Don't kid yourself. I guess on this asshole, I don't think this is the greatest match of all time. And I think this comes down to how we watch the Schmoedown. I don't really watch the Schmoedown for the trivia. I watch it for the storylines, and when you look at this match from a strictly storyline perspective, there wasn't really a lot there. Now, listen, Mara and Rachel, I have nothing but the utmost respect for you for coming in and doing this in the condition you were in. Either one of you would have kicked the crap out of me in an Inner Geekdom match. Doesn't matter how sick you are, you know. But when you look at it, you had two faces who had nothing but good things to say about each other. There wasn't faction devised. There wasn't, you know, okay, it was the semifinals, but it wasn't, you know, there wasn't, storyline-wise, there wasn't really much there, and that just comes down to the fact of Mara is a rookie still. And Rachel is well-established. I guess you do have the storyline, but I feel like had she been playing Mike, the storyline would have been, you know. So that's how I watched, and because of that, I can't. And then when you go to the trivia side, I have to watch some of the matches again. I mean, this is definitely top 5 strictly trivia best matches of all time. Mm-hmm. Storyline-wise, it's not so much there, and I'm not trying to take any away from Mara and Rachel. That's not their faults. Like because a lot of these storylines have been building since 2014, and you know you have two. When you look at people like, you know, Harloff and Ellis and Riley and Graydre, you know, people have been here since 2014. You know, I don't know if you. I don't know. And then you also have. I gotta stop myself because I'm trying to not be a jerk, but no. The answer is no. If you ask me and Abe are having a conversation about this, I still say the greatest match of all time is still Riley Roca 3. When you look at storylines, when you look at trivia and things that happen within the match, that to me is still the greatest match we've had so far. You can call me biased. Okay, fine. I don't really care. And you know what the thing is? What it really ultimately comes down to? This is opinion. This is strictly your... If you think this is the greatest match of all time, more power to you. If you don't. If you think I'm not sure how. If you think this is the worst match of all time, fine. That's your opinion. And yeah. And some people might be saying I'm just trying to save my own face with that, but you know what? I'll stand up for my opinion when it comes to Schmoedown because I watch for the trivia, not I. Yeah. Watch for the you know what? I don't care. I watch it for the storylines, not for the trivia so much, which is odd because I write trivia questions for it. Irony, isn't it? But enough talk about this. Let's move on.
Quick, match, Mom. I do feel like there was this overarching storyline going on. It's all for Kalinowski, which we'll talk about in a second. It's all about the corruption. It's all about this whole tournament. That's what this whole story is revolving around pretty much.
True, but what part do Mara and Rachel play into the corruption, except for just being members in the tournament?
No, like I'm talking about like they showed the end credits scene with Mara talking to Kalinowski, which could possibly set up this future match, and that you saw the tension there, and then of course you have Rachel trying to stop the corruption of Mike, thinking he's gone too far with that. So both of them really had points to prove in this match. It just goes to show that corruption really is taking over the entire Schmoedown in general.
And again, that's fair. I'm talking more when I look at specifically Rachel and Mara, because again, going back to the match I was talking about, when you look at Riley and Roka going into their third match, you had Roka, who needed to defend this belt to really cement himself as one of the greatest of all time. You had Riley, who was facing a guy who had beaten him the two other times, and also going for that belt that he lost back in 2016 and had been trying to get back again. You had that divide between them. Martin Rachel didn't really, like, Mike didn't play any part of this. He wasn't on the table. He was, sure, you could say the overarching story of corruption, but then again, corruption is kind of stretching its hand into pretty much going into the latter half of the season. Every match kind of has a bit of corruption in it. Mike's little, string pulling. It's a fair point to bring up. And again, as one of the greatest film characters of all time once put it, that's just like your opinion, man. And I think that's where we'll leave it. So let's move on to the second semifinal match of the Iron Geekdom tournament this week, which was Mike Kalinowski versus Adam Halalalak. So, of course, we start off with I don't remember if it talks about the trash talking, because there wasn't really much between Mara and Rachel. Mike is doing his corruption thing, and we love it. We love it so much. Thank you, Shepard, for everything you're doing. Adam, he wanted to prove himself in this match. He wanted to prove, he was playing strong in this tournament so far moving up to this, and he felt like beating Mike would definitely sort of cement him. So we move into round one. Adam sadly just round one just was not his buddy this round, and that completely is the mirror effect to Mike goes his first perfect round in Inner Geekdom. The round ends 11-3 with Mike answering. He answered a Tank Girl question, for crying out loud. Give him that, okay? So we move into... Wow, okay. Can we just pause for a second? It's like 3:30, and I feel like we're just running through this. I don't know why. Am I crazy? Am I the only one who feels... What am I doing wrong?
It's feeling tough.
Usually what it takes longer is the speculation about a scene or something. When you talk about the match,
oh yeah, there weren't any scenes. There weren't any scenes.
And there weren't any announcements for stuff.
Damn it, Christian.
Pretty straightforward.
Let me bring something up real quick though. Sorry, Abe. This really shows the importance of having a good round one. Because round one, you can be in the lead and have kind of that cushion going into round two, which round two can be your friend or your enemy, but that lead that Mike had really helped him going in after round
yeah,
one.
that's definitely a good point to bring up, Hunter. I feel like a lot of people tend to write off round one. And that is usually because like it is literally impossible to get knocked out in round one. So I feel like a lot of people tend to write off round one as it's like, well, it's just the first round, like because yes, the matches are usually decided in round 2 or 3, but as we'll talk about certainly when we get to the end of this one, your performance in round 1 is a lot of times the decider of how the match goes, and other times it's inconsequential. It's a real, but round 1 is definitely just as important as round 2 and 3. Moving on to round 2, of course, Mike lets Adam spin first. He spins away from Star Trek, I believe, and lands on DCEU. And he does very well. He walks away with 8 points. Mike goes up, spins away from Harry Potter, and lands on Spinner's Choice and chooses MCU for himself. He as well does well, gaining 7 points. I don't remember. I don't think Adam was able to steal from him.
No. I know Mike missed one, but Adam couldn't get the steal.
So we moved into round 3. Of course, Adam was in TKO range. He had to hit at least his 3 and his 5 to stay in the game. He ends up hitting all of his round 3 questions. Mike is up. He wins the match by only having to answer his round 2 and 3 correctly. It didn't come down to a round 5. As we were talking about before, if Adam has a better round 1, we could possibly be talking about a different winner. And I feel for Adam because I know how it's I back in the olden days of the fan movie trivia Schmoedown League I used to play, and you have a bad round 1 and then that just affects you going forward, and it sucks. It sucks because it puts you into a headspace, especially like Adam just had an uphill battle to work from because you have one, Mike is playing the heel role extremely well, and that must be very hard to play against. And then 2, I mean, round 3, you hear it end 11-3. I mean, that is a hill to climb, and for him to perform the way he did in round 2 and 3, all the credit to him. He should be, I'm not sure if he should be given Rachel or something, but he should be given an Irgita match as soon as he can. I'm not sure how many Irgita matches we're going to get for the rest of the season. I feel like we're probably going to get the live event, title defense, and then we might get one before Spectacular, but I feel like it might just be Spectacular. We might have like a number 1 contenders match and then Spectacular. So I'm not sure if Adam would be. That depends on who wins, you know. But regardless, Adam should be given the match as soon as he can. But of course, Mike Kalinowski won because, come on, people. Of course he won. You know why? Because he's awesome. And even beyond that, Mike, I think because he's playing the heel so well, this is a similar discussion we had when we talked about Andrew Iver's Damro, which is sometimes when you play the heel so well, people tend to not give you the credit you deserve because they hate you, and they tend to not, like, they don't separate themselves to be like, you look at what Mike has done in this tournament. He has shown that he is studying. There are, you know, it's kind of like what he said in his post-match interview, where it's not really that his strengths and weaknesses anymore. It's more just he has varying strengths. Like, he has, you know, ones that he is very good in, and then he has ones that he's kind of good in, but it's the fact that I might be misspeaking on this, but it's the fact that he doesn't really have that many categories in round 2 to fear on the wheel. Like, he doesn't have that, like, if I was competing in Geekdom, Lord of the Rings, Hobbit, I'd be scared to hit on those, because I don't know those movies well. Whereas Mike, he's kind of fine with everything, and I think we have to give him credit for the work he's done. And of course, this leads into the discussion of the finals. Mike Kalinowski versus Mara Knopik. this is the discussion point we're having here. Hunter, who do you think is facing Jason Inman at that live event?
This one's very hard, especially coming off of 2 great matches in the IG tournament. Going off a point you were talking about playing the heel, ever since Mike has turned heel, his IG game and his movie knowledge game has gotten so much better. Like, he's up to prove why he's there and why he belongs in the top of the IG league. Mara has impressed the hell out of me in this IG league. She's taken out some tough competition. And I really like Mike's heel work going on. I'm going the underdog. I'm going Mara wins, just barely.
Okay. Malcolm?
Just barely. Last question.
Okay. Malcolm, we all know you wish Keaton was in the finals, but you can't choose her. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry. We might get Mara. Who you want to win?
Yeah, I mean, I think Mara's going to take it away. I mean, because we're most likely going to see her at 100% in this match, so it's going to be. I mean, I believe it's going to be close. It's not that I'm counting out Mike, but I think Mara really wants to prove that she belongs in the league, and I think she wants to win, and I mean, she's definitely got like the support of like Emma in that too, because I think, as Emma put it in the post-match interview for Cushing versus Mara, is like, well, that they still really want to see that first female champion, no matter who it is. So.
Yeah, definitely. So, I think the interesting thing about this finals tournament is the fact that we have 2 people who both have something to prove. We have Mara, who, of course, she's the rookie. Their first time ever playing the Schmoedown. To get this far, to prove that, you know, just because you're new to the tournament and you have these veterans, doesn't mean you should be taken any less seriously. Doesn't mean you can't perform as well because you're not as familiar with the game. But people forget the fact that Mike came into this tournament 0-2 in the Schmoedown, in Intergeekdom. He hadn't won a match. He had only played in the 5-way where he lost to Koi, and then in his singles match against Rachel. That was it. And he lost both of those. People forget that, you know, and he now wants to prove that he should be in the top 2, 3 of Intergeekdom performers, because before this, most people just threw those losses at him, you know, and we're just like, no, you aren't. And I feel like, man, this is gonna be. Of course, I'm supporting Mike. Nothing against Marge, just Mike being one of my favorites. I'm of course going to support him. I want him to win. Also, the fact that I made a prediction back in, God, I want to say May or March. I said that Mike was going to hold the Intergeekdom belt by the end of the season. So, you know, yeah, bandwagoners. I was there long before you. Bah. Okay. Yeah, this is going to be crazy. It's going to be a great match. I don't know what's going to happen. And Inman, I love Inman. He's awesome. I met him at San Diego Comic-Con, and I really hope he's preparing, because whoever wins this is not. I'm glad that this didn't come down to a fatal 5-way, because I'm glad that it's shown. Because if it came down to just a fatal 5-way with like Adam and Rachel and Mara, and I'm not even honestly, if it was a fatal 5-way, I don't think Mara would have been in it. She probably wouldn't have been in it if it was a fatal 5-way. And I think that, you know, this is Inman's got his work cut out for him. But if he's able to beat one of whoever wins this, I mean, he's already one of the best champions we have. But I think this will cement him as like maybe under Mark Riley as the greatest champion. Whatever. All right, fine. Under Sam Levine, get off me, commenters. It was a joke. Or was it? He'll
You're
definitely
a terrible
have.
comedian.
Well, Abe, you're a terrible Schmoedown history player.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let me bring this up real quick, though, Matt. If Mara somehow beats Mike and goes on, and let's say she loses the IG match for the title, would you still put her in the Rookie of the Year category?
I think the interesting, she's definitely in discussion. Win or lose the finals, she's still in discussion for Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
I think it comes down to, right now, it comes down to her and Ethan.
Yeah, same.
Because this is the issue, is the fact that Mara has been competing only in one. Well, yeah, Ethan's only been competing in one. I don't know, man.
Yeah,
God, this is hard. It's bananas and apples. They're both great, but you know.
Yeah.
Ah, man, missed joke. I should have said they're both grape. It's late. I'm tired. But we know someone who thinks Mike Kalinowski is going to win, and I got to sit down with the shepherd himself as he dispensed his wisdom unto all of us. Take a listen. Guys, I am here with the shepherd of the Schmoedown, our savior, the leader of corruption, Mike Kalinowski. Thank you so much for being here, sir.
You've come around. You've come around. It's delightful to see you come around. So, hey, it's my pleasure now to be here. You've seen the light.
I have seen the light, and it is beautiful. How are you doing, sir?
How am I feeling?
Yes, sir.
I feel fantastic. Things are going, people think it's like according to plan. My plan, it's not a plan. I'm just trying to make it fair. People, the talk, and, people are, bawing away about, I've given myself an easy route and this and that. They're just ridiculous. I've had one of the hardest routes to this belt. I'm sure you all saw a little match that, everyone's favorite Rachel, her first match. Would you think that was a hard match against someone? No, I don't think so. That was, no. If I had more say, that wouldn't have happened, that match. But, hey, to each their own. Here we are.
So, you've kind of already talked about this, but what are your thoughts on the Intergated tournament that you created and that I think all the competitors have not been so kind to thank you for? And fans, might I add. What are your thoughts on how the tournament has shaped up?
I think the tournament is excellent. I've never liked a 5-way. I've never liked a 4-way. I don't like a 3-way. People get instant losses, and I think that doesn't reflect their record very well. It's given new competitors. People are now saying, hey, I'm facing Mara now. It's I would not be facing Mara if it wasn't for the tournament. She was not part of that original 5-way that was in there. It was, I believe, myself, Rachel, Donica, Lavick, and maybe Emma or Washington would have been the 5th. I think that's what it was. That's all it was. And people are, the Brown Dwarf star, everyone's loving her, and rightfully so. She's a great competitor. But you never would have met her if it wasn't for the tournament. So, I've said it before, I'll say it again, win or lose, it was never really about the belt. It was about changing things up and making it fair and giving people shots. So if Mara wins the belt, if she takes it all the way, she does it, and I've got to, I made my bet, and now I've got to lie in it to face her. So here we are.
So, just building off of that, do you think that moving forward, this is how the Inner Geekdom League should go? Should it leave the 5-ways for, special events and run more like the singles division, where it's more just one-on-one matches?
Absolutely. I can't speak for any other player. I can only speak for myself. I'm not a commissioner. But I will not be partaking in 5-ways, 4-ways, 3-ways. That is, maybe there'll come a time when, there's JT, me, and Rachel, where it was a 3-way for the belt shot, and I let my ego get in the way, and I wasn't ready for that match, and I wasn't going to be a part of it, and but that's to each competitor. I would like to think that those are done. I would like it to be more of a just like the singles, constant one-on-one matches. You win 3 matches, you get a shot at the belt. we have enough competitors now that can make it worth it. But I also understand the logistics of it. You know, getting that's the side of it that is not up to me. It's the logistic, it's the cost, it's everything involved in that. But I personally, you know, I'm not gonna, you know, create corruption, if you will, and then go, oh, I got a shot for a 3-way, so I can get another shot at the belt. You know, if that ever we're down the line or whatever. You know, but that's up to each performer and player. So, see what happens.
So, what are your thoughts on what some people, including the former commissioner Christian Harloff, are calling possibly the greatest Schmoedown match in history, Mark Knopik versus Rachel Cushing?
You know, I did not watch that match as it happened. I was not there live because of I was prepping for my match. So I didn't want to be influenced in that. I heard the situation. I think a lot of things. I think one, they both were in states of some kind of not mentally and physically there. So they both agreed. So it wasn't like a one-on-one. Should they have canceled it? Who knows? People are saying, like, but watching them, you know, they both had incredible games. So it wasn't like the score was 10-11. It was a huge scoring game. You know, they're tough competitors regardless if you're sick or not. I think the best way to sum it up is someone on one of the Facebook groups put a picture of a pineapple pizza. And they said, spoiler without context. You either loved it or you hated it. You know, it's to hear people say greatest match of all time, but I saw two competitors just trying to get through a match. And I don't know I don't know what everyone is saying if it's greatest match of all time, if it's because they were sick, but they were still doing great, you know, so I don't know what people are saying with that with greatest. You know, I asked a poll, I go, and this was, you know, I go, I want to know what everyone, when they say that's the greatest match of all time to them. And some people said it was just like an Irwin match where it's just knowledge. It's not the back and forth. It's not insults and this and that, and it's not great entrances. It's just trivia. That's what people love. Some people love great entrances. It's subjective, you know. Hey, so I don't know where I feel on the match. What it came down to, I saw two competitors that I didn't care how sick they were still doing great. So it was it's interesting because you think about it, like Mara's in physical pain, Rachel's about ready to throw up. If let's say both competitors were at the top, at their not feeling completely well, would that match have gone to sudden death? I don't know. I don't know if it would have. I don't know. You know, it's you know, we'll see. I don't know.
Oh my god, I can't believe they must have snuck this question into my questions. I'm so sorry, Mike.
Did they?
Are you scared of Mara? I apologize that they put this in here.
Keep your people in line. Keep your people in line.
I will. Don't worry. Oh my.
Jesus, this like Skaliski I got going on here. You need someone to look over your questions from now on.
Yeah.
Am I scared of Mara? Why would I be scared of Mara? I brought Mara into the tournament. Like
you're gonna take her out.
Like she's one of those, like, you know, she says she's got a photographic memory, so we'll see how it goes with her. You know, I wasn't scared of Rachel. People were saying I was scared of Rachel. Like here's the thing. Look at my matches. They put them on the other side of the bracket. I'm not going to deal with that right now. I'm going to go through tough competitors. I've been laser focused. You know, I'm still a little sore on the whole Frigga thing. You know, that would have given me another perfect round, so I would have had 2 perfect rounds. But I get the point, and I can see to it. I'm not going to try and challenge on that. But if any, 2 KOs, you know, my match against Slavic, I finally had to go to the 3rd round. I forgot there was a 3rd round in Inner Geekdom because I hadn't been there yet. And look at the stats. Frank posted them today. Top 4 competitors. People are, you know, and what I love everyone. Well, it's Rachel's tournament to lose. It's Rachel's tournament. She's going to win it all. Rachel's not here, is she? No, it's anyone's tournament. That's the point of it. You know, so, you know, you would think people learn the lesson with Guy and Merle, you know, by claiming someone's guaranteed to win it. Well, you know, it's not. It's me and Mara now. I've just got to keep on doing what I'm doing. And, you know, here's the thing. I might lose, but if I lose, it's because I gave my best game. Hopefully Mara will bring her game, her A game, because I want to go against that. I don't want a blowout. I want it to go the distance. You know, after coming off of the match of Rachel and her, I've got to give her, you know, I got to go at it.
Mm-hmm.
I've you know, past 4 months I spent on this, and I have a system down that, you know, I've stopped. People are wanting me to go back to the entrances of the costumes and stuff, and that's not me anymore. That's I have a goal. I set it up, but also, you know, now I've got the tournament coming up. So it's people are thinking, if I lose, that's the big thing. Is that if you lose, is corruption over? No, it's not over. It's just beginning. It's not just inner geekdom. It's everything. So we're going from this forward. I hope she gives me a challenge. I really do. So we'll see what happens. But I'm not scared of her. So, and I don't think she's scared of me.
So let's say that this match goes your way. You beat Mara. You're going to be taking on Jason Inman at the live event.
Correct.
Do you think you can beat Inman? Because I actually spoke with Jason Inman when I was at Comic-Con. He's not quite scared of you. Now, some of your matches haven't aired yet, but he felt very assured that he could beat you.
Okay. He's the champion. He's allowed to think that. I'm going to say this. Inman has been out of the game for a very long time. He's rusty. We saw what happened with Merle. We saw what happened with Navarro. Remember those guys? Those were the GOATs, everyone called them, the greatest of all time. I saw Navarro's match, and I didn't know what that was, you know. And you're out of it. You're out of the game for a while. So, hey. But then again, I look at Inman, and again, what competitors should be doing is watching matches. Watching Inman when his first, because he was kind of fumbling around when he first got in Inner Geekdom, but then seeing his last couple of matches, and he just knows what he's doing. So I'm not going to undertake him. It's going to be a challenge. So we'll see. But I don't know. It's going to go. I'm excited. I thrive in a live event setting. That's kind of what I do. So the pressure won't be there for that. I'm very curious. I will say this, if I can backtrack for a second. I've never done a speed round. So this is going to be new for me. I'm very curious to see how that's going to go. I do tend to see, if you watch my matches, tend to jump the gun sometimes on questions. Mm-hmm. It hasn't bitten me back yet. It hasn't bitten me in the ass yet. But I do tend to not think before I answer. So we'll see. The speed round could be my downfall. Or it could win me the game. We're going to find out.
Yep. So I think the ultimate question that a lot of people are asking with corruption is, and if you can't reveal it, that's fine, but with that, with the notes, what is your plan to become the commissioner?
Let me stop you right there. Let me stop you right there. So you want to know what my ultimate plan is?
I don't. This is another one of these Take 3 people. I don't know what they're doing.
I'm going to tell you guys that. What do you guys think? What do you guys want to know? You want to know what's in the envelope? Is that what you want to know here today? You want to give you an exclusive?
Sure.
No,
that
I'm not
would
going to
really
do that.
help our views. Darn.
Why not?
Okay.
Don't be ridiculous. Come on now. No. This is the long con, is what it is. The long game. Mm-hmm. It's going to go on, and you know, when it's revealed, it's going to be revealed. You guys will all thank me. You know, and the Schmoedown will be better for it. It's simple as that. The Schmoedown will be better. Inner Geekdom is already better for it, isn't it? So we're gonna change things up. We're going now into the tournament. Things are gonna be different.
So speaking of the tournament, how are you looking with your partner Chance Ellison? He's someone who's never competed in Schmoedown before, and there are some what people are calling power teams in there. Do you think you have a chance to win the teams tournament coming up?
You know what? I don't know if this is a little bit of a. You know, I was there. I saw the names being picked. I did not know we were going to throw random people into the match, into the mix. Mm-hmm. As luck would have it, just by chance or whatever you want to say, I got stuck with a random person. Apparently, he's some kind of good player in fan leagues, like you guys have fantasy football leagues, but you do it with like trivia. Apparently he's good. But, you know, I could have said no. I could have said, no, we're doing this over. I want someone that I know. That's not what that would have stood against your shirt right there. That would have gone against everything that I built with that. Mm-hmm. You know, I got to take it. I got to take what comes my way now. Whether what happens with Mara, what happens with Inman down the line, now with this tournament. Maybe are there some people playing little behind the scenes, little puppetry, trying to go behind my back, well, I'll find that out. It'll all come out. But I take the cards that are dealt to me and I play them.
So, you haven't been, besides in our geekdom, of course, you haven't been in singles. Any chance of you returning before the end of the 2018 season, possibly, or are you focusing strictly on Inner Geekdom?
Like, I was thinking about that the other day. I saw a competitor and I was like, where the hell's JTE been? So many competitors, and it seems like singles has been shoehorned with, I don't know what they're doing with that. I'm focused on Inner Geekdom right now. I don't know how I feel about all the belts and all that with Sam retiring, Above the Line being retired, and now people are just going for a chance for the belts. I'm kind of glad I'm not in the mix right now with that. I don't want to deal with that. That seems like, who knows? I don't know what's going on over there. Maybe that's a fault. Maybe I should have been focusing with that on a little bit more, keeping that above the line, as it were. But hey, they got to do what they got to do.
They got to do what they got to do. So, Mike, any closing thoughts for the fans watching this? Anything you want to say?
Well, I would appreciate a thank you, but I'm not going to get that. I wanted a thank you from Mara. Didn't get that. Everyone keep sleeping on me, everyone. It's fine. You weren't fans of me before. You're not going to be fans of me now. I don't care. I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it for the other competitors. I told Mara, I was like, Mara, you keep on winning, and I'm going to keep on winning. And that's what she did. She held up her end of the bargain. I held up my end of the bargain, so here we are. Hopefully we're going to give you guys the match of the year. Either way, it's going to be a blowout. We're going to see what happens. Of course I want the belt. But, I thought about it, and it came up, we were talking, it's like, Dr. Frankenstein, and I created a monster. And the people are like, well, Mike, you got to remember, the monster killed Dr. Frankenstein. Yeah, that's in the book. What have I been doing about my entire corruption? Changing the way things go. Changing what you think you know. You think you know that Frankenstein, the monster, kills Dr. Frankenstein in the book? Not in this world, not in this reality. Changing things up.
Also, by the way, people, in the movie 1931, Henry Frankenstein doesn't die, okay? So, I said that on the reaction yesterday. I was like, he didn't die.
Okay, let me say something. You at least know what you're talking about. Half these people in the audience are like, oh, Frankenstein went off to the Arctic. They don't understand that there's different versions of Frankenstein, and I'm just like, whatever.
Also, it's a movie trivia show. Why are we talking about books?
Hey, you know that because you're a good sheep. They don't, I'm fleecing them.
I'm only a good sheep to good shepherds, and Mike Kalinowski is a great shepherd. Thank you so much for this tournament, for what you're doing with the league. You
are very welcome, son. You're very welcome.
Thank you so much. And
Absolutely.
We're going to throw it back to everyone else on the summit. Thank you, Mike, so much for that interview, of course. We thank you so much for this interview to tournament. We thank you just so much. We thank you for the Schmoedown. In fact, sir, thank you so much. All right, guys, so moving in. Next week's matches, as the only one that we know is a definite happening is in Draco versus Irwin. I'm figuring that the Inner Geekdom finals might be next week, but
yeah, the finals next week too.
Is it? Well, Chris Clark, page. That's not on the MTS page yet. So, well, we already talked about the finals.
Yeah.
So, I guess that leaves Draco versus Irwin. Oh boy. Yeah, we were just talking about Ethan Irwin, of course. He is in the run for Rookie of the Year. Going up against Mark and Draco, one of the best trivia players in the league. Malcolm, I'm throwing it over to you first. Who do you think is walking away with the win?
Of course you would throw it to me first. Damn it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's alright.
Hunter, who do you think is going to win? Is that better now?
This is hard to predict because, as much as I'd like to see Bibbs and Draco too, I think Ethan could take this out. Realistically, I think Ethan could win. I think if Ethan wins, then he wins the title. I think he's probably cemented himself as Rookie of the Year personally. So,
yeah, that brings up a really interesting point, which is if Ethan wins this number one contenders match, he beats Bibbs for the belt, and Mara beats Mike and then beats Inman, we have 2 rookies of the year, both have belts, and God, it's going to be difficult to vote.
Dude, if that happens, that's going to be almost impossible to pick.
Are we going to have a tie or something at the awards? I don't know what I'm going to do. You know what? I'm going to have a fan award. The WTF moment of this year for the fan awards is going to be every fan who sat down a computer and had to vote between the two.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, guys, you can find the 2018 Schmoedown Fan Awards right here on Take 3. If you want to find the 2017, you can find that over on Matt Movie 611. They're streaming right now, and the 2019 will be dropping sometime in January. Check it out. Just doing a little early plugs for you all. Hunter, what do you think about this match? Who do you think is walking away with victory?
Well, the thoughts of the match is it's going to be a bloodbath. It's going to be back and forth. I kind of agree with Malcolm. I think Ethan's going to pull it out, but it's going to be very close. I'm very excited, if this happens, to see Bibbs take on Ethan Irwin. Because both are just going to have a great match, and it's going to be fun and entertaining. And, you know, yeah, it's going to be incredible. It's going to be back and forth, without a doubt.
Yeah. It's gonna be a bloodbath. It's gonna be insane. God, I really like Andraco, but man, I think that, and I hate saying this, but I think that Irwin's gonna walk away with the victory on this one. And that's hard to say, but I think he's gonna walk away with it. But guys, that's pretty much all we have for this week. There wasn't really that much to talk about, except for, of course, the fantasy update with Vinny.
Yo, what's up, guys? It's Vinny here with the fantasy update. Okay. So, in first place, we got Super Epic Extreme with 619 points. Okay. Then second place got Emerging Small Boys with 409 points. Them small boys, they got them points. In third place, we got Dan Gorgie with 488 points. In fourth place, we got the loser, Matt, with the Yodi Alliance with 384 points. Okay, so we got points. I don't care. Fifth place, we got the Penguins with 318 points. And then finally, in sixth place, we got Tiny Kids with 291 points. So, yeah. As for trades, I think Abe traded, like, I don't know. Actually, people don't tell me these things, but trades happen, maybe. I don't know. But that's it for your Day 3 fantasy update. You can follow me, Vinny, at Vinny Stallone 76 on Twitter. Now get the heck out of here.
Thanks, Vinny, for the fancy update. So, guys, that's it for the show for this week. I want to thank my panel. Hunter, where can the good people find you?
You guys can find me over at Multiplex Entertainment doing trivia. You guys can find me on my YouTube channel, Film Nerd TV. On my Patreon, Stardust at Film Nerd TV. Thanks, guys.
And Malcolm, where can the good people find you?
You can find me on Take 3 Productions, hosting my show, Rankum. Yesterday we had movie franchises, which probably turned into a lot of fights. I don't know, filming this before we've actually done the show, but yeah. And today we're doing some special matches in honor of Christian Harloff's brother, who just passed away recently. On the World Wide Movie Games, we've got Russell versus Thomas versus Abe, and the winner of that goes into the #1 contenders match. Today on Take 3, we've got a Billy Joel match with our very own Chris Clark versus Cody Newbury versus me. And then you've got a Full Metal Trivia match back on World Wide Movie Games which I'm also in. So we've got a lot of trivia stuff
You're
happening
very
today.
busy, Malcolm.
Although it's not going to
Yeah.
be today when this drops, so I
Yeah,
don't know what to do.
we got a lot of trivia stuff, and apparently, for whatever reason, Malcolm's involved in almost all of it. You guys, of course, can find me at Kearns_Matthew on Twitter, MattMovie611 on YouTube. I'm right here hosting the summit every week, and eventually second look when it comes back. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to our editor, Abe. If you want to plug yourself, now the time's to do it.
I already told you that I'm not the kind of man that likes to plug himself.
That could be taken a couple of different ways, knowing
That's
Abe.
what he said.
Shut up, Hunter. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and comment on this video. Share it around. Word of mouth really helps. On behalf of my panel and the rest of Take 3, I want to thank you for watching and remind you to take care.
I tried to froze myself when I was like 6.